Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you feel like you're giving your all, but getting very little in return? Have you ever felt like a doormat, stepped on and overlooked? If the answer is yes, then today's talk is for you. I am here to provide you with an understanding of not just how to recognize when someone is using you, but more importantly, how to equip yourself with the armor of Stoicism to navigate and overcome such situations. Stoicism, my friends, is a philosophy that is as relevant today as it was when it was founded in ancient Greece. It's a guiding principle that can help us keep our composure in the face of adversity. It teaches us the values of self-control and fortitude, which act as a shield against the destructive emotions that can pervade our lives when we allow ourselves to be used by others. Now you may wonder, how do we recognize when we are being used? Well, a fundamental clue is the one-sidedness of the relationship. If you find yourself in a situation where you are the constant giver, providing emotional, financial or physical support, while the other party is always on the receiving end, this could be a sign that you're being used. Remember, relationships are built on mutual respect, effort and compromise. If you feel like you're in an uphill battle, constantly trying to keep the relationship alive, then this might be a red flag. A true partnership involves give and take from both sides. If you find yourself making all the sacrifices, doing all the work, and getting nothing but excuses or demands in return, it's time to take a step back and evaluate what you're really gaining from this relationship. Moreover, manipulation can often be part of the equation when someone is using you. This manipulation can come in many forms, including emotional. Emotional manipulation is one of the most dangerous types, as it can be subtle and easily overlooked. This includes guilt-tripping, playing the victim, or using your kindness and empathy against you. For example, the person might make you feel guilty for not being able to help them, or they might always have a sob story ready to justify their actions. They might even turn the tables and make you feel like you're the bad guy when you start to voice your concerns. Another glaring sign that you might be being used is if your interactions are always on their terms. If you find that you're always adjusting your schedule, bending over backwards to meet their convenience, then you need to ask yourself whether your own needs and comfort are being respected. If someone genuinely cares about you, they would ensure that the relationship functions on mutual convenience, not just their own. Often individuals who use others do not show genuine interest in them. Be mindful of this. Do they ask about your day, your feelings, your life? Or do they only talk about themselves, their problems and their needs? A person who is using you might show little to no interest in your well-being. Instead, they see you as a means to an end, a tool to serve their own needs. Watch for inconsistent behaviour as well. One moment they might be sweet, attentive and charming, making you feel special. The next moment they might be cold, distant and dismissive. This on and off behaviour not only creates an unstable environment, but it's often a tactic to keep you off balance. Recognizing these signs is the first step toward asserting your self-respect and reclaiming control of your life. Stoicism teaches us to maintain our rationality and not let our emotions rule us. And while it's natural to feel hurt, angry or confused when faced with these situations, the principles of Stoicism guide us to respond with self-control and fortitude. Remember, your worth is not defined by how someone else treats you, but by how you treat yourself. If you are in a relationship where these signs are present, it's crucial for you to respect yourself enough to stand up and say no more. Because, my friends, there is no respect without self-respect. So, how else can we recognize when we are being used? Well, another common trend amongst individuals who use others is that they are often takers instead of givers. This can manifest itself in numerous ways. They might always be borrowing money from you, never paying you back, or continuously asking for your help without ever offering theirs in return. It could even be that they're emotionally draining, unloading their problems onto you without ever listening to yours. These individuals usually take more from you than they give back, and this constant drain can leave you feeling worn out and depleted. While we all need help and support from time to time, it's vital to recognize when it shifts from a balanced friendship to a continuous withdrawal. It's like a bank account. If all you're doing is withdrawing, never depositing, eventually you will go bankrupt. So too with relationships, they will shrivel up and die if all you do is take and never give. Also, let's talk about boundaries. Boundaries, my friends, are essential in any relationship. They protect us, maintain our mental health, and ensure we are treated with respect. If someone is constantly crossing your boundaries, disregarding your feelings and comfort for their benefit, this is a significant red flag. A person who respects you will respect your boundaries, and a person who doesn't, simply put, doesn't respect you. A relationship should not feel like a battlefield where you're constantly defending your boundaries. It should feel safe, comfortable, and most importantly, respected. If your boundaries are frequently violated, it's time to question whether this person truly values your relationship or if they're just using you. Additionally, a person who uses others often shows hesitation about commitment. Perhaps they're always avoiding plans for the future, or maybe they treat the relationship as a casual convenience rather than a serious commitment. This hesitancy is a clear indication that they're not invested in the relationship. They're keeping their options open, using you as a temporary resort until something better comes along. One of the most frustrating traits of someone using you is their refusal to take responsibility for their actions. They always have an excuse, they always blame others, and they never admit when they're wrong. This refusal to take responsibility is a manipulation tactic to keep you entangled in their web of deceit. It's a way to deflect blame, to keep you guessing, and to prevent you from recognizing the true nature of their behavior. Keep an eye out for frequent lies too. Lies are the lifeblood of manipulation. A person who is using you might often be dishonest, deceitful, or misleading. They might twist the truth or omit important details to paint a picture that suits their narrative. Remember, honesty is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. If truth is missing, there's a good chance you're being used. An often overlooked sign of being used is lack of respect for your time. Time, as they say, is the one thing we can never get back, so how someone treats your time says a lot about their respect for you. If someone is constantly cancelling plans last minute, showing up late, leaving you waiting, or disregarding your other commitments, it shows a lack of respect for your time. This lack of respect can also be an indication that they're using you. And then, there are those individuals who only show up when they need something. You know them, the ones who come out of the woodwork only when they're in a bind, when they need a favor, or when they want something from you. They're not around when you need them, but they expect you to drop everything when they call. This is a glaring sign that they are using you. These signs, as unpleasant as they are an opportunity for you to reevaluate your relationships. They are an invitation to assert your worth, set your boundaries, and refuse to be treated as less than you deserve. They are a call to action, to stand up for yourself, and to say, no more. It's not about being rude or unkind. It's about respecting yourself enough to demand the respect you deserve. Even when we spot these signs, it's not always easy to walk away, but that's where the principles of Stoicism come in. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control others' actions, we can control our reactions. We can choose to respond with dignity, composure, and self-respect. We can choose to walk away from those who don't treat us with the respect we deserve. One unmistakable sign to watch out for is feeling drained. If you often feel emotionally, mentally, or physically drained after spending time with a certain individual, it's a strong indication of a one-sided relationship. You see, relationships should be a source of joy, comfort, and mutual support, not a constant source of stress and exhaustion. If you continually feel like you're running on empty, like you're giving more than you're receiving, it's quite possible you're being used. Another important aspect to consider is trust. Trust, as the saying goes, is the foundation of any relationship. If there's no trust, there's no relationship. If your gut feeling tells you not to trust someone, it's crucial to listen to it. Our intuition, that inner voice, has an uncanny knack for recognizing when something is off, even when we can't put our finger on why. Now, even with all these signs and signals, the most important element in all of this is self-respect. Self-respect is the bedrock on which we build our relationships. If we lack self-respect, we allow others to treat us poorly. But if we respect ourselves, we set a standard for how others should treat us. Regardless of the signs, regardless of how someone else treats you, it's crucial for you to respect yourself enough to step away from a relationship that's harming you. Remember the principles of Stoicism. We can control our reactions. We can choose to remove ourselves from toxic relationships. We can choose to surround ourselves with people who uplift, encourage, and respect us. It's not about belittling anyone else, it's about recognizing and asserting our worth. A Stoic philosopher, Epictetus, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And it's true, we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control our responses to those actions. We can choose to stay and be used, or we can choose to walk away and maintain our dignity and self-respect. So, are you being used? Look out for these signs. Reflect on your relationships and interactions. And remember, you are worth more than being someone's fallback, someone's plan B. You are worthy of genuine relationships, full of respect, reciprocity, and love. In conclusion, the road to healthy relationships is not about eliminating every person who shows these signs. Rather, it's about establishing boundaries, asserting your worth, and nurturing relationships that respect and honor you. It's not easy, but it's certainly worth it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it has given you some valuable insights and tools to help you navigate your relationships more effectively. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Remember, you have the power to create healthy, fulfilling relationships. Don't settle for anything less.